type. So in this video, we'll be going over factoring, and we'll factor a slightly more complicated quadratic this time, and we'll also use FOIL to check it. So we'll be doing a factoring problem, and we'll use FOIL to check it. And FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. So it's just an acronym. So the quadratic we're going to factor is 2x squared plus x minus 6. And when we're doing this, I'm going to take the first number and the last number of this and multiply them together. And what we find is it equals negative 12. So we need two things that multiply to negative 12, but then we also want them to add to this middle number. And here it's a 1. So it has to add to positive 1. So we find the factors of 12, and we get 1 and 12. But there's no way we can break 12 into these and then add them to this. So we use the next one, 2 and 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. We had a negative 2, it would be negative 12. But we can't add them to get a positive 1. So we go again. We see 3 and 4. We're like, oh, okay, well, this will work. Well, if 3 is negative and 4 is positive, that multiplies to negative 12. But it also adds to 1. So those are what we're going to use. So we break this into 3x and 4x. So what we get is 2x squared, and we'll minus 3x, and we'll add 4x, and then we minus 6. And what we see is that 1x is the same as 4x minus 3x. So we group the first two terms, and we group the last two terms. And we find the greatest common factor to these. So in this case, the greatest common factor to these two terms is an x, and it leaves us with 2x minus 3. And now we see the greatest common factor for the last two terms is 2, and that leaves us with 2x minus 3. Now we see that we have this and this are common, so we can factor that out. So we take the 2x minus 3, and that leaves us with an x plus 2. That's our fully factored form. So what if we were like, hey, I need to make sure this is actually right? We can actually just FOIL it back out. And so if we do that, let's do the FOIL over here. We have 2x minus 3 times x plus 2. So we do our first, which is 2x squared, and then we do our outside, which is plus 4x, and then we do our inside, which is minus 3x, and then we do our last, which is minus 6. And then we group these because they have the same x term. So we have 2x squared plus 4 minus 3 is just 1, and minus 6. So we have essentially factored the quadratic, and then we used FOIL to check to make sure our solution was right.